atmosphere here in the Crucible. What a session of snooker we have in store for the first semi-final in this year's Betfair World Championship. Sit back, relax, and watch the fireworks fly. Please welcome a player who produced one of the great Crucible quarter-final comebacks, knocking out 2005 world champion Shaun Murphy in an epic decider. He looks as though he's back to his electric best. The most exciting player of his generation. Here he is, with his own brand of naughty snooker, the ace in the pack, Judd Trump! And his opponent, the most naturally gifted player ever to grace the modern game. His first session against Stuart Bingham was simply sublime. 4 times he's lifted the sport's ultimate prize. He's once again hinting at retirement, so let's enjoy every single second. Blink and you'll miss him. The Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan!
Wow, what an atmosphere. It always is the same in the Crucible Theatre, but it's very, very special today. There's that magnificent arena with the one table. Just have a look at that, sir. That's every snooker player's dream.
Thank you. Cameras away now, please.
Under these conditions
the first
here.
Frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Four sessions. It's going to be a fascinating opening session. We just don't know what's going to happen, Stephen.
Absolutely, but I think the first session is a crucial session for Judd Trump in this match. And there we see it. Judd said he was going to attack Ronnie, and first frame straight in with a lovely long pot. We know how good a front runner Ronnie is, Dennis, and how we've seen that against Stuart Bingham. And I think that's why it's so important. If Judd's got any chance of winning here in this semi-final, I think he has to beat Ronnie in this first session.
Yes, he's got to put Ronnie under pressure and see what happens. But he doesn't want to be playing too many shots like his last one. Going a bit awkward though. The blue's tied up. The black's not too nicely placed.
One.
I think the pink goes into the middle pocket, so that was nicely played. Referee Mikhail Tab doing this semi-final. She's been one of our top referees for quite a few years now. We know how well Ronnie's queuing against Stuart Bingham. The opening session was as good as any session he's ever played. Missed a few, but I think that was just to try and get the match over with a session to spare. 93% for the tournament pot success rate for Ronnie, but Judd not far behind at 91%. There's the long putt success rate. Judd just ahead in that department. Of course, it's terrific now for the players. There's no distraction, no noise coming from the other side of the arena. Really is a bit special, Stephen, isn't it?
Yes, I get asked all the time by people, do I miss it playing snooker? And I always say no, not at all. I'm loving my retirement, but I must admit this is probably the only time when I get a bit jealous. The one table at the Crucible, best place to play snooker.
Yeah, Ronnie took his shoe off there. We've said it a few times, this carpet was quite slippy. We've seen a few players where, when they were stretching, take the shoe off so that they wouldn't slip. Just a little bit of nerves from both players at the start of this semi-final. And even that was a little nervy one. He didn't put that in the heart of the pocket. That's why he's cannoned into the other red. And this will be a tester for Judd. He's usually so good at this type of pot. Looking at the pink. Well, he's refusing the pink. Well, that tells a little story early on in this semi-final.
Judd drop one.
In fact, Judd's safety success rate, and there you see it there at 86%, way ahead of Ronnie's, and it was way ahead of Sean Murphy, who he managed to beat on that very, very exciting last frame. It could have gone either way. You wouldn't expect many long frames with these two players, but sometimes the balls can go a little awkward and they can dictate how the frame's going to pan out. I just hope, Stephen, that both players play to the top of their form and we have a cracking semi-final here.
Yeah, in a four-session match, you're going to have times where players always have sessions where they don't play as well. It's about damage limitation and not having, if you can get out 5-3 down instead of 6-2 down, things like that can change the match. But the table's obviously been recovered when they put the new table in for the one-table situation, and that top cushion looks a little bit slow at the moment. Both players under hitting their safeties.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a problem here, Judd. He can't get past the black to snick off that red to the left of the blue. Can't see that. Let's have a look what he's looking at. As Hawkeye just comes round, you can see he can't see enough of that red to come down the table off it. And those two, there's not anything he can do about those two reds. This is a tricky one. Is he just going to land on this or try and hit it half ball? Well, that'll do nicely. I'm not sure if he played to hit those two, but maybe he did. Let's have another look at this. Well, if he hits the one next to the blue, he gets the same result. So
players will obviously have tremendous respect for each other's game. They'll know what each other is capable of.
Well, and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Surprised he was playing that so thin. It looks as if he'd have to hit it half ball to get round the back of those 2 reds. But he seemed to be playing it on the thin side.
Is that right, yeah?
See, she's got the white exactly. I thought he would play it a bit thicker and try and get that sort of line to get back down the table. But he seemed to be playing the red on the thinnish side. Let's see what happens this time. He's trying to... It's as if he's trying to hit the cushion first and clip the red in.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Oh, he's got to hit it this time, otherwise he'll lose the frame.
Got to warn you now, if you don't hit a ball on, you'll lose the frame.
Well, it's happened once in this year's World Championship. Dechawat Poomjang. What a character he proved to be. I enjoyed every minute watching the Thai player. Oh, this is a bit special he's trying here. Where's that red going? He's got the white back. I mean, it's terrific to get the white back, and he's got away with it. Yeah, that red's going to run safe. I mean, not many players in the game could create a backspin from the position he was in there. Near the cushion. The white stops and then spins back. Is he? Chance for Judd to get back down behind that yellow. He's going to catch the yellow also. It's even now in a better position to get in behind. And the pink's not too badly placed the other side of the table, but let's see how close Ronnie can get to that shot. Oh, he's hit the first red too thin. Has he got away with it this time? Yep, so that's 1 each. Good fortune department. No. Judd said he was going to attack Ronnie. Let's see if he takes this one on and tries to screw back. Well, he's pushed the red on, but it looks to be maybe just off straight. This was a tough one down the cushion. Can Ronnie, well, he's got a slight angle, but he needs to generate a lot of top spin to get on the black here. he's not on the black, he's got the yellow, and then he can get on the black.
Yeah, until he gets a colour onto that pink spot, this isn't really framing an opportunity at the moment.
I don't think he can hold for the black from this position. Well, he could. That's a terrific shot. He didn't seem to have the angle, but he certainly made it.
Yep, and as I just said, he needed to get a colour on to the pink spot. And now this is a great chance to win this opening frame.
11. $12.
Might just be able to bring the blue into play after the next shot. Let's see where he positions the cue ball. He could play a little cannon and just nudge the red to the left of the blue here.
90.
And that will bring it into play.
20.
It's amazing. Just that little nudge on the red has opened the frame up completely now. 45 ahead. Should secure the opening frame from here.
26. $30. 34.
Just looking at his tip there, I don't know whether there's a little bit of fibre or something just come loose. Of course, our good friend Les Dodd from Southport came down all the way down to put a new tip on for Ronnie. It
41.
certainly has worked so far for him.
Yeah, he changed his tip after his
42.
first round match. He wasn't happy with it then, and Les Dodd came down. And time for Ronnie's second round against Ali Carter.
Frame safe,
49.
so we can relax now.
$50. $57. $58.
So it looks as if he's going to carry on as he did against Stuart Bingham. He looks in fine form.
$65.
No century break, but that's the best possible start for Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's made a break of 65 and he takes the opening frame. It's 1-0 to the Rocket.
And the Rocket very much picking up where he left off last night against Stuart Bingham, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a great cueist. It's going to be tough to hold him. And Judd Trump, for all of his abilities on the table, is really going to have his work cut out, as does every player in the game.
How important, you boys have both been there, how important is it to win that first frame?
Massively important. Settles you down, get that one on the board, get yourself up. And one thing you don't want to see is that big fat donut next to your name with a 0 there. You haven't got off it, but he's done that exactly right. And what a great start. He played a fantastic positional shot in the middle of this break. I mean, he pots this red, it's going completely the wrong angle, screws back, loads of right-hand side on it, and actually couldn't have hit it any better and left a perfect angle. As Stephen said, needs to get a ball on a pink spot, did it straight away, and actually run through, perfect on the reds, great shot.
just found his rhythm.
Well, it's what he does so well. It doesn't look like he ever struggles in that department, and to be able to sort of pick up the reins from where he left off, you know, it is business as usual, and as much as these lads have been playing here for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden they're playing every day. So you do get in a rhythm and in a mode. But even so, to get off to such great starts is such an attribute to have.
OK, let's see what Judd Trump's response is in the second frame.
So Judd Trump breaks off, and it looks, at first glance, they may have left Ronnie a pot to the left corner. So a first test for Ronnie O'Sullivan's long potting. I think the black pot's to the right corner. After his second round, it was thought that the long potting was Ronnie's weak link in his game, but against Bingham it was very impressive. I think he was over 80% long pot success. Well, he's changed his mind. He's turned it down.
I don't blame him for that. That was a tough red he was faced with. Yeah, against Judd, he knocked some unbelievably terrific long pots. Here's the long pot success rate. Judd just 3% ahead of Ronnie. But Ronnie's long pot success rate is climbing all the time. Crowd getting a little excited, thinking the white was going in, but the snooker players, they know the angles, they know that the enough definitely wasn't on there. There's no straightforward run off a red in the pack to get up the table because of the two reds that are near the blue. He needed a thin one, and a thin one he definitely got there. Well played. He was just getting down to play off the side of the pack. And he changed his mind, just played a containing safety again. Yeah, if it come down to a tactical battle, I think Ronnie would win that, even though Judd has improved dramatically in that department. But this fella here you're looking at is one of the best tactical players in the game when he sets his stall out. In fact, I remember commentating on a final many years ago between Ronnie and Mark Williams, and some of the best safety play I'd ever seen from two of the game's great break builders and potters. Might go close to a plant here with his safety shot. Now he's playing the inside of the two reds.
Foul.
Oh, that's about the best possible result he could have there, because he seemed to hit that too hard. He was trying to come off two cushions with side to get back down, and he put right hand side on it, hit it too thin, and he's got everything safe. Every player's ambition when they turn professional is to kiss that little lady on the trophy. I was talking about the trophy there before we went to Michaela. Well, what a super putt.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Yeah, that's the little lady I was talking about there on top of the trophy. Every player's ambition is to lift that championship trophy. As we see the white just... Oh, it didn't
Ronnie
quite
O'Sullivan,
reach.
4. Is that right? Ronnie?
This time it's touching, so Ronnie can find the spot down on the ball cushion there to make it as awkward as possible. See, with the tip of his cue, he's just working out where he'd like to put the cue ball.
But no real fireworks yet, Dennis, is there, in this match? I think a lot of people thought it was just going to be all-out attack, but it's the last frame before Ronnie made that frame-winning break, and the start of this frame, it's pretty cagey stuff so far. It's like they're feeling each other out, sort of thing, trying to
Thank you. Foul.
get a weakness. Ronnie
Judd
owns up to a
Trump,
foul
4.
there. I think Michaela's seen that, so good sportsmanship.
Now, what did he touch? Just maybe the red. It just moved fractionally. It's been very, very difficult for the referee to have spotted that, so well done, Ronnie. Let's have a look again. Boy, it's tough to see that. This time, the white doesn't go in the pocket, and he has left a chance for Judd. He can pot the one that's near the black. Might have to get on the blue.
1.
Well, as he left it straight, that's careless if he is. Straight on the blue. Just the slightest of angles. And we know on these very fine cloths you can create a bit more angle. Well, it was ambitious. Tried to screw back and hit the jaw of the pocket to take the white up to the reds.
6.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think Judd Trump probably has the most cue power in the game at the moment. Can play shots that I never thought were possible. But that's what I'm looking for in this match. I'm interested to see when he's in the balls if he could compete with Ronnie in the cue ball control department. Because over 4 sessions, if you keep losing that cue ball in position, you keep on, really searching for perfect position all the time, it catches you up. You can't keep putting your way out of trouble.
Chance here for a Judd Trump special. Let's see how well he cues this. Not bad, is it? Not bad at all. And to get the correct side of the blue doesn't come any better than that, Stephen.
No, that was a stunning long shot. And a stunning display of cue power. Effortless cue power. Perfect on the blue. I think Mr. Doherty might be giving some demos this afternoon, and maybe he'd like to play that one, Dennis.
Yeah, I'd like to see the darling of Dublin screw this one back.
6.
I think he'd dislocate his shoulder.
Looking at the angle, he may be screwing into the pack of the reds here and leaving himself the black to the right corner. That's a good shot.
7.
The only thing with playing for the black is, does it pot when it goes back in its own spot? It must do, or he wouldn't have played that shot. I'd be very surprised if it didn't go.
Yeah, because that last shot, I think he attempted to bring the pink into play as well as hold for the black, and he almost did that.
14.
But yeah, you were right, Stephen, that red was available. Hasn't taken you long to get the old commentator's
15.
eye, Stephen.
Just got a slightly heavy contact there. You see the red bump up a little bit, so was closer to the cushion than he would have liked, but it was no problem.
$22. $23.
And there's a poor positional shot. Well, no problem going in and out of bulk, but played to be above the blue. But he'll be desperate to win this frame in one visit. He'll want to show Ronnie that whatever he can do, you know, Judd's going to do as well. So, important visit this. And a sort of psychological battle in the match.
$29.
I think that red at the back of the pink and two reds is available. Could have done with stunning it up just a little bit further. He's pretty good with the opposite hand, but he's
34.
getting the rest out here.
Missed the cannon there. Played to cannon the red that's in the middle of the
42.
the four that's by the top cushion. That's no problem. Got this red to the centre, but that's not the red he was
Judd
playing for, so maybe he was a little
42.
bit disappointed. Still didn't expect him to miss it. And he'll be disappointed, Judd, that he hasn't won that frame in that visit.
One.
Well, we talk about early psychological victories. This would be one early on if Ronnie could pinch this frame now.
8.
The reds are not too badly placed. Knowing Ronnie, he'd be disappointed if he doesn't pinch it here. This is what top players expect and want to do in big matches.
Nine.
Well, I was just about to say there's only one safe red, and he's just moved that now.
60.
Because the red over
17.
the left side of the table may not be a problem for Ronnie, because being able to use both hands.
24. 25. 32. 33.
Key here that he gets fairly close to this difficult red behind the black. And that's, well, if it's straight, it's a bit of a problem. I think he's got a slight angle. He's looking already at the red
39.
left side of the table. Be interesting to see how he gets on that, whether he leaves it to be able to pot with his left hand. Now let's see what sort of angle here. Has he got the angle to maybe move it? If he's just off straight, he can screw back off the cushion and flick that red into play. No, he hasn't got the angle to do that. Needs to keep running that one.
Yeah, that was a tough shot because he had to come this side of the pink. So you have to sort of create an angle here, really force the cue ball, because if the cue ball went the other side of the pink, he'd be too far away from the red. This is a dodgy red. I can't see him taking this on, to be fair.
He thought about it, and now he's having second thoughts. He hasn't really risked anything so far. Wow, that was an unusual way to get the snooker.
Very clever shot. I think we thought when the pace he hit it, he was just going to leave the red on, but knew the exact angles that the red was, or the path the red was going to take. And this is a good shot also. He's quite got the snooker. So he might find himself behind the black here, Judd Trump.
Ronnie anxiously looking to see if one of the other colours has snookered him, or if there's a gap between the pink and blue. Oh, that would be tight. As Stephen said, he tried to get over behind the black, but you always have the blue and pink to help. There's just enough room to get past the brown. No gap there. Just enough room to get past the brown off the side cushion. Where's the red going to finish? Where's the white going to finish? Well, he's fluked the snooker. Well, if the white runs another couple of inches, it's end of frame. Now, where's the red going to finish this time? Ronnie will settle for that.
Sure.
Well, that's a little bit careless. Obviously played to put the red ball in the baulk cushion. But this red pots to the yellow pocket and can be fairly comfortable in the knowledge that it'll probably leave it safe, because if we bring the cue ball back down to this end of the table, down to the black end,
well, he hasn't got it safe. He was perfectly on the black. He had a pot of the red, but now can Judd knock this long one in? The white will be coming back round the table also. No, too thick. Is he going to get away with it this time? Surely not again. Wow. Well, he can just see a little bit of the red, but I don't know if he can see enough of it to cut it in the middle pocket. It's such a thin contact, but, well, Judd's had a couple of slices of good fortune. But does this cut? How did the white stay there? That would have been dreadfully unlucky had the white have gone in. He put everything into the pot. It was so thin, this, but have a look at the white. Nearly went in off the brown. It's a bit early to be getting excited here, Stephen. Second frame, best of 33.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Not sure if that white drifted slightly. He didn't play to hit the black on that side.
I need to see, please.
If he hits the black on the other side, he's got the snooker behind the pink. Of course, at the moment, it's now what you would call a brown ball game. You'd think whoever pots the brown would win the frame. Well, you can hear a pin drop in the crucible at the moment.
Well, it was a long way away from that pot. Is the cue ball going to stop? Yeah, that's fine. He's going to have to come off the baulk cushion though. He's got a choice. He can play with a little bit of left-hand side to move the brown. I think that's what he'll play, off the baulk cushion. Touch a left-hand side in the cue ball.
That was the side that caused him to miss the green. Trying to get onto that brown, it wasn't a natural angle. He had to play it with a lot of left-hand side, and that threw the white offline before it got to the green. That was the reason for the miss there. Now, where's the green going? Ronnie won't mind it going in. Well, it's turned out okay for Judd.
Yeah, it's a fantastic shot. So difficult to not get a double kiss in the green there.
Can he hit this full ball and get it right around the angles? He could. And that's pretty good. Just try and get the snooker over behind the brown here, possibly. That's a good effort also. type of shot there. When you're snookered, you've got to just hit it and hope you can get the ball safe. And he did. I think he would send the green up towards the brown. Oh, that needs to travel. That needs to travel. That's a careless one. Now let's see what sort of angle. If he drops the green in, is he going to slip past the brown? Well, he's got a terrible contact, and the white has slipped past the brown.
Yeah, that was unlucky. If he doesn't get the kick, the white actually cannons the brown out. Or makes a contact with the brown. The kick actually made the angle wider, so the cue ball missed it. So I was unlucky there. He can play off the right-hand side of the brown as he looks at it, try and get the cue ball down behind the black.
Judd Trump 3.
Yeah, good shot.
Don't think there's enough sticking out. If he goes 2 cushions, he could leave a free ball if he doesn't hit the brown. And if he goes off 1 cushion, he's got to play it with the right-hand side. Difficult to judge these. Well, he did actually hit it, but he stuck the brown up. Not far off 28 minutes for this tactical second frame. He's just looking at the angle to see if he screws back. Will he hit the blue? He might have to leave a longish blue.
4.
It's not bad. That was the best he could do. He couldn't leave the blue for the middle. Well, he's left it awkward. He needs the pink. He's only 13 in front. Ronnie can draw at the moment, and he couldn't have finished worse. Ronnie's not looking, but he knows that this is not a gimme. If he doesn't fancy the cut, he could take the double on the pink and screw in behind the black. That's not a bad choice. Play the double on the pink and you've got a chance of a snooker if you don't double it. And that's what he's played. Is the pink in? Oh no, but he's got the snooker. Well, what a time to pull out a Judd Trump special here. Oh, it's flicked the black. Does it cut? If it does, he'll have to go in and out of the ball carrier, you would feel, and it might be a bit too thin to do that. Where's that cue ball? He's played a cracking shot here.
And this will allow Judd Trump a golden chance to take the second frame.
Oh, we've got a re-spotted black in the second frame. Doesn't get any more dramatic than that. And this is where you want to win the toss. 30-minute frame. Both players had 40-plus breaks. Who wins the toss?
It's ahead. Your choice.
Judd won the toss. He's put Ronnie in. The standard safety these days, rather than going up and down the spots, is to push the black over to the right side cushion. Let's see which way Ronnie plays it. Now that leaves the possibility of a double. That's the only problem. Does Judd take the double on? He did, but he made sure he got a good cue ball. And this is not an easy safety for Ronnie. If he tries to come thin off the black, it'll go close to the opposite corner pocket. He might even attempt that. So keep your eye on the black as it goes across the table, but also be careful with the cue ball. It's flying up and down the table also. That's pretty good under the circumstances. Difficult pot on, but keep your eye on the white. It's a sort of shot where the white will go near the right middle pocket.
Yeah, that was the only problem with Judd taking it on. It was such a fine cut. He was always going to leave the black here. Second frame, there's a bit of tension already, Dennis.
Well, Ronnie's was a lot easier than the wood Judd tried. Let's see if he can get this. There'll be quite a roar if this black goes in. And in it goes. We've got a respotted black over 30 minutes, and it's one each. It's already exciting stuff.
Oh yes, box office stuff. We knew this is the hottest ticket in town. 32 minutes and 34 seconds. I think you said, Steve, going to the end of that frame, what a terrific frame of snooker that was.
That frame had absolutely everything that was good about snooker. If you wanted to showcase to somebody who'd never seen the game before an entertaining frame to put snooker into a good light against other sports, that was it. It had everything. Massive start from Judd Trump, the big banging red, and then getting a lead, missing one shot, the counter punch from Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah, couldn't quite get on the last red. Great safety play. I honestly think a couple of years ago Judd Trump would not have won that frame. He played some fantastic tactics in that near the end of it. Certainly matured and improved in that respect.
Well, that's what we talked about at the top of the programme, actually. I asked you, Steve, has Judd got enough in his locker in his all-round game to go on and win this title? And John quite rightly says his safety is vastly improved.
Yeah, and you know, that's effectively the apprenticeship a player does, you know, and it's easier to be a player with bags of talent who's raw in the tactical department and improve them in that department than have less talent, very clever tactically, and somehow have to raise your game in the potting and screwback department. So therefore Judd Trump was ripe for the picking in being a better player, and it's just great to watch him unfold as a player, and you know, more layers are appearing.
There were lots of words written pre-match, and one of the interesting things I read a couple of hours ago was that Judd Trump said that I believe I have the self-confidence to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan. You also need to take your chances against this fella.
No, that's the big thing. Stephen said it in the commentary. I couldn't agree with him more. When you play Ronnie O'Sullivan, you have got to start the match in the best form you can be in top gear, because he doesn't give you any breathing space. He's such a good runner. If he gets in front, he can be like trying to keep hold of a tiger by a tail.
This is great stuff. Back to Dennis and Stephen.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, boys. Not the best break-off shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's left a tempter, and Judd, after potting that black to take the second frame, might go close to knocking this in. Well, played it as a shot to nothing, but he's left a possible pot for Ronnie.
Yeah, I'm surprised at this. And I know there's a risk of leaving reds if you miss it, but I think if you're going for these shots, you have to go for them 100% full out. And you know, Judd did say he was going to attack Ronnie, cue ball. He's not playing any safety with that long shot.
I think you hit it right on the head, the nail there, Stephen. Judd should have gone all out for that pot because he could have got on the black, and he didn't, and he's going to pay the consequences here.
Eight. Nine.
Yeah, I, like you, Stephen, thought Judd would take this on and play for the black.
16.
But he decided to play it as a shot to nothing. Wrong choice there, I'm sure.
70. $24. 25.
4 reds, 4 blacks.
32.
Now, is that golden cue there, Stephen, for a maximum break, along with 25,000 plus 10 for the high break? That should have been your nickname, the man with the golden cue.
He's playing a slightly thicker contact off the pack there. He was hoping to leave himself the bottom of these 2 reds next to the pink to the left centre. Just comes off it a little bit thinner.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 40.
He did try and stop on the black. It was always going to be difficult. He got close to knocking this in. And with those 2 reds now up just past the blue, it makes it very awkward. Is he taking this on to the corner? Ooh. Looks as if he wants to. He'll go straight into the reds. Now, is he going to change his mind, or is he going to get back down and take that difficult pot on, which will open up the game? He knew he had to get this. One good positional shot here from Ronnie O'Sullivan, and it's 2-1.
One. Eight. 9. 60. 17.
Just not got total control of that cue ball yet, which is unusual for Ronnie. This red is not as easy as it perhaps looks.
22.
And you come off 3 cushions, possibly for the blue or a bulk colour. easy control.
23.
Again, he's not in perfect position.
$28.
No, he didn't look like playing there at all. Red only just creeped in the left-hand side of the pocket, and that's why he's still short in the blue. So he's not totally comfortable out there, Ronnie O'Sullivan, yet.
As you can see, the frame is safe, so no pressure on this one.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 30.
I say no pressure on it. He would have liked to have knocked it in, but 74 in front, 67 on the table. As we show you that missed red, he's knocked the black safe, which helps Ronnie.
1. Seven. Eight.
That would have given Judd a little bit of confidence, Dennis, even seeing the fact that Ronnie wasn't in perfect position
14.
every single shot. Almost missed a couple of medium-range pots. So
15.
you're always searching for any little weakness in your opponent.
He'll be guaranteed his first snooker after he pots this red and a pink. He can
21.
then get the snooker in behind the pink.
22.
Very little to do with the
28.
cue ball now to get the snooker. 46 behind, 35 on the table. Doesn't want to double the red. He hasn't, but he's got tight in behind the pink.
28.
He really could have done without this, Ronnie, if he had knocked that long red in. Needs 3 4-point snookers at the moment. That's a good escape.
Four. Six.
That'll do. The green goes up past the blue. Well, doesn't matter about the pot. It was the earlier break of 40 and then the break of 34 that paved the way for Ronnie O'Sullivan to take the third frame. He now leads 2 frames to 1. And there was a shot there, Stephen, I think you called it at the time. Judd has just potted a great black to win the last frame, and he's in with a chance, and he played a shot that, if he was going to do it again, he would change his mind and play the shot that you said. He's got this red here. Now, he's feeling good, and he can pot that, get on the black, but he decided not to. He decided to just play it as a sort of a shot to nothing. If he stuns that in and just comes out on the cushion, he's on the black, but he's frightened of leaving a red, and I think he picked out the wrong shot there.
Yeah, well, I mean, to get the cue ball back, he's obviously got to hit it a lot harder, which makes the pot more difficult in itself. But if you want to attack someone, you want to... an attacking shot is to play for the black. You want to show your opponent, I'm just going to go for my game, I'm just going to try and win this frame in one visit. You know, there's one of the, he could have played that follow through of 2 cushions or whatever, but it shows Ronnie that I'm not that confident. I'm going to, you know, I'm going for this long ball, but I'm going to have safety in my mind.
Yeah, well, Hawkeye is going to show you the shot that we thought that Judd could play anywhere in that vicinity, and it would have been on the black, but he just thought, I'll edge my bet.
Frame 4, Judd Trump to break.
Well, can he see enough of this red? He can't. Mid-session interval coming up after this frame. And as we always keep telling you, you players over longer matches, play them in little mini sessions. Your target will be to try and win the session 3-1.
Talking about mini sessions, if you say won the first 3 sessions 5-3, you've obviously got a 15-9 lead going into the, you know, you virtually won the match. So
Sure.
it's important to treat them as like little matches. Try and win every session.
3.
Seemed to be okay there. Might have got a slight kick. Now, can he run through here and just finish nicely on the black? Or is he... might have to slip off the reds, and that was the problem there. It's end of break. Unless he decides to take a very, very difficult black on, but I think the yellow's
Yellow ball.
best.
Judd Trump 4.
Very difficult for a pocket to accept a ball hit at that speed. Okay, he was trying to get the white round the table, which he managed to do. As you can see with the slow motion, the balls are jumping around on the table when you hit them at that pace. Well, he'll take that, Ronnie, but that's not how he played it. You can see the little wry smile from Judd. Ronnie got in the jaws of the pocket, and he was... Have a look at this again. He was playing off the side cushion, and then the top cushion hit the jaws, and it finished perfect. That's why Judd was smiling.
Nine.
Yeah, probably one of the reasons he reacted like that, shaking his head, smiling, is because it could possibly cost him the frame now.
$16. 17.
And it's not going to take too long if he keeps potting them the way the balls are situated here. Doesn't have to think too much. They're all nicely lined up. Look at those
20.
4 near the pink spot. Okay, maybe one of them just goes because of the red that's blocking the path. But they're lined up like
25.
4 little soldiers there.
Possibly not after this shot. Well, the bottom one of those 4 obviously pots to the left corner.
32. 33.
That red I mentioned is blocking the other 3 to that left corner. And he's played on that red. Okay, he's going to have to go up the other end of the table, but the brown,
40.
the blue, the pink are awaiting.
Yeah, that was an unusually careless positional shot by O'Sullivan, the previous one, to land straight on the black.
41.
Meant that wasn't the angle he wanted on that red, meaning he has to go up to the bulk end.
Looking to see where he'd like to place the cue ball, but he'd have quite a margin for error. He doesn't have to necessarily play for that on this occasion. Anywhere near the circle would be okay. A bit closer to the cushion, but they're still available. He would have been trying to get further out into the table.
44.
Can he just run through, use the other one to get on the black? Of course he can.
52. 53.
Well, mid-session interval, as I said, coming up after this frame. He's, what, 49 in front. Needs a few more pots here. 76% pot success rate for Judd, not the best. And he's dropped down to 45%.
58.
No really big breaks,
59.
but some fascinating snooker. Ronnie at a 65 in the opening frame. Judd's just at 42.
66. 67.
Now may play around the table in between the green and brown for a red to the right corner. Don't think he's hitting it hard. Is it hard enough? Yep, the bottom red of
74.
those 3 will pot to the right corner.
75.
No century break, but Ronnie O'Sullivan will be delighted with his opening session. He's had breaks of 65, 47, and that's 75, and he goes to the mid-session interval, leading 3 frames to 1.
So here we go then, frame 5, back to Stephen Hendry and Dennis Taylor.
Thank you, Jason. That was all very fascinating. That's an unusual break off. Whatever you do, don't hit that blue. But is he lucky? Well, it's turned out if he could break off like that every time, you'd take it. Judd smiles again. He can't believe the result that Ronnie's had there. Even Ronnie's smiling. Yeah, just going back to that psychology part, someone like Dr. Steve Peters, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a long process with a top professional like that. Some people would want a quick fix, but there's no quick fix to sorting out the old computer, the brain box. It takes time. There's someone making a little noise in the crowd there. Judd just getting up, getting down again. He's only playing a safety shot. Where's that cue ball? Where's that white? That's close to the pocket. It's in the pocket.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
But no easy red available. Couple of reds to the left corner. Can he find a path for the cue ball? Well, he did find a path back down the table, but he had to cue that one very well. He had to play it with a little touch aside to avoid canning into that red. Well judged that one, Stephen.
Yeah, and then straight away to clear this red that's next to the black, which will open the black to both corner pockets.
6. 7.
So once again, it's been a pattern so far in this match. Ronnie's getting in first with the first sort of decent chance in amongst the reds and the black in every frame. Perhaps the second frame Judd got in and scored. Lovely little cannon there.
14.
You see just cannon the left hand side to leave the red to the right corner.
15.
I believe in an angle in the black this time
22.
to go into the bunch of reds.
23.
He'd like to cannon. There's 4 reds below the pink. The one to the right of those, he'd love to cannon that red. That's the one he played. He just got it a little bit thin, but he's okay. He's left himself right to the left centre. I want a thicker contact on this red that he had
30.
first here.
$31.
Well, this is the best possible start for Ronnie after the mid-session interval. It didn't look as if it was going to be a good start with his break-off shot. And he's left that a little bit short.
38.
Played for the 2 reds that are to the right. He's coming around to see if the one at the back of the 4 reds is available, but it's not. I don't know if he can reach this without the spider. Might just be able to stretch over.
$39.
And a choice of reds to play on now. He can avoid cannoning the one that's directly behind the black and just come back through that gap there where he is at the moment.
46. 47.
4-1 lead.
53.
And you would never thought when Judd Trump went in off Dennis that it would cost him the frame, but it has done.
Yeah, it was that fabulous opening pot from Ronnie. A couple more pots and the frame is safe.
61. 67. 68.
Ronnie's highest break is 75 in this semi-final so far.
75.
Frame is safe now.
76.
Is he a bit thin on the blue? Might be able to sneak it in and bring these reds into play behind the black. That was a little bit thin, had to play for the loose one.
81.
Ronnie made
82.
53 centuries last season. This season he's made 7. He's hardly played. Oh, that spoiled the century, you would feel.
89.
No century, but the frame's only been going over 7 minutes, and Ronnie O'Sullivan takes it with that break of 89. He now leads 4 frames to 1. Well, Stephen, you usually talk about the break-off being one of the most important shots in a frame, and he made a terrible break-off, Ronnie. He hit it all wrong. Have a look at the break-off here. Hits it far too thin. Cannons into the blue, but look where the white finishes up. So really, the break-off shot turned to his advantage there, because then Judd goes in off.
Yeah, you see the little raised eyebrows from Judd. He's thinking how lucky has Ronnie been there not to leave him anything. He's played a bit of a careless safety shot, but still unlucky to go in off it, a bit careless. Then we see Ronnie, fantastic long red, and as I said before, you wouldn't have thought that mistake would have cost Judd the frame, but that's what he's up against in this match, Dennis. One mistake is going to cost him a frame, and perhaps in this tournament he's been allowed to have maybe 2 or 3 mistakes a frame.
Well, he's made a pretty good break-off shot here, Judd. I don't know if Ronnie can see enough of this red just to send it back up the table, leave the white this end. He might have to play it with a little touch of swerve to achieve that. He's looking at an alternate, but there's not a lot available. There's a little bit of swerve, and the cue ball's in the pocket. But it puts a lot of pressure on this opening shot for Judd. So there's a red into either corner pocket. This will be a test of cueing and character. He's 4-1 down. Let's see if he can play one of his specials. That is one of his specials.
Yeah, excellent long pot. It's probably the best in the world at that shot. Long shots and screwing the cue ball back. As I said before, incredible cue power. You want to be low in this black,
7.
because you want to get rid of those 2 reds that are blocking up the black spot.
It's not bad, although it's not quite the right
14.
angle to get nicely on the black. Might just be able to drop it in. Well, he's used the other red just to
15.
leave himself nicely on the black, and he should be okay here. He's got a slight angle just to get onto his next red.
Judd's in off in the last frame. Cost him it. Is Ronnie's going to cost him this frame? Doesn't look like it.
Very rarely do you see Judd cue the ball like that. He didn't get the action on it at all, so I don't know what happened. He maybe just didn't go through with the cue like he normally does. Let's have a look at this. It usually fizzes back when Judd delivers the cue. That time it didn't.
Well, he's playing the safety off the pack. He's got to be careful not to leave this red to the right corner. He's got a fairly big target with the yellow and blue. Yeah, it's a good shot.
There is a path back down the table off the reds past the pink, but he's got to get it into a similar position, otherwise he'd leave the red that Stephen mentioned. So he is playing off those reds. This has got to be absolutely spot on. That looks a little pacey, or is the yellow going to come to his rescue? It is. Tell you what, he got down pretty quickly and made his mind up to take that difficult pot on. Well, that long pot on the red has given himself a great chance. The black's tied up, the pink and blue are in the open, as are the reds.
4.
And he could do with knocking in a sizable break here. Just to let Ronnie know that he's not going anywhere.
9. 10.
Yeah, it makes you feel a lot better inside if you can win a frame in one visit rather than bits and pieces. Pink pots to the left corner, so you can play for a choice of pink or blue here.
Sure. 17.
And he's played that well. Just got past the blue.
Needs a slight angle on this red.
22.
Oh,
23.
that's winning off both jaws here. Have a look at this. Thought about not going in. No, he's got a big, heavy kick there. He's okay, I think, but the white would have been another 12
28.
inches across the table. Now, that would have been dreadful if it had thrown the blue offline. quite as intended. Quick glance round at the scoreboard. That jumped a little, the red also. He's switching hands here because of the red under his body. Well, it's a little risky, because even if he's using his right hand, that's in the way, that red. Got to get between the green and the brown here with the cue ball. Played it well.
$34.
It's just not automatic position available here on a colour.
$35.
I'll tell you what, he would have loved that other red to have dropped. He's 61 in front. If that red had gone in, Ronnie would have needed a snooker, and he almost cannoned the red into the corner pocket. Had the red have dropped, there would only have been 59 left on the table. Ooh, this is a risky pink. But with the red over the pocket, what else can he do? So whichever colour he tries to pot, he's glancing back at the scoreboard, there's going to be pressure on it.
Yellow ball.
So yellow it is. Cracking pot. That was a little gem there.
37.
A lot of pressure on that. He knew if he missed it, he was sticking this one up. He just loves that shot, doesn't he? He loves showing the cue power that he's got. That's the entertainer in Judd coming out there. 69 ahead, 59 on the
43.
table. That white might still be spinning.
$44. $50.
No,
Judd Trump.
doesn't
50,
really
and
matter. Ronnie stays in his seat, and Judd Trump did what he needed to do. He virtually won the frame with that 50 break, and he closes the gap to 2 frames. It's 4-2 to Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, John, Dennis described that yellow that Judd potted as a little gem. He's not wrong.
Big gem. Yeah, especially with the balls being the way they are. What you don't want is a counter clearance from O'Sullivan. You knew full well the red was over the pocket. Lots of pressure on it. What I liked about it, though, he took his time over it, looked at the pink, looked at the blue, decided yellow was the one, gave it 100%, straight in the middle of the bag.
And Steve, we've talked about Judd's safety game, but we need to talk about his cue power as well.
Yes, you know, monstrous screw back from the red over the pocket, you know, to get the right side of the blue. It just seems, it does seem like he has, as Stephen said, so much cue power, more than anybody in the game, and that's including the likes of Neil Robertson and some of the other great players like Stephen Lee, who really can screw back. But you know, Judd just annihilates the ball. You know, it just turns it inside out.
I'm not having it. I think the table's downhill. I'm not having it.
Good stuff. Okay, so it's Ronnie O'Sullivan to break. We're into frame number 7, and it's back to the boys.
Thanks, Jason. Well, this looks like a better break off this time from Ronnie. Got the cue ball almost tight on the cushion. Well, make that tight on the cushion. Is it worth the risk, Stephen? It looks to be dead straight, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't tell you how difficult these are when the cue ball's jammed up against the cushion.
Got a slight angle. Oh, what a shot. This boy, he can pot some balls. You'll not see better cueing than that last. As Stephen said, when you're jammed up on the cushion, to cue this as sweetly as this. Push the cue through in a dead straight line.
Dead still as well, wasn't he?
9.
Kept his head absolutely dead still. And I was watching Ronnie there, he actually tapped his cue when he seen Judd pot that long shot. Stunning into the pack.
16.
Just powering the cue ball through the bunch of reds.
Not many players would have played it that way. They look to be a cannon onto a couple of reds, but look what he's done with the reds.
Seventeen.
The pink obviously goes. Yeah, most players would have taken the black on. We can show you here. They would have played a cannon into the two reds to try and leave the one at the back. But Judd, the way he plays that shot, just stunned into them and opened the whole of the game up. Although they're a little awkward now because the pinks out of commission, the blues out of commission into the
20.
two middle pockets. But he can concentrate on the black.
24.
8 frames to be played in this session. Well, Ronnie knows he can't be behind, but he could possibly be all square the way Judd is starting to play. No, he got a bad contact there. Just see the black
30.
lifting slightly. Oh, 5 kicks to 0. Judd's leading.
It's amazing the amount of times you get the kick when you're playing that shot, the reverse side shot when you're screwing back. He's playing that shot with left hand side to come off the cushion, bring the white back up the table for the reds.
Judd drop 31.
Well, I don't know if Judd's left is red to the left centre. If he has, it's a fine cut and it's not easy to control the cue ball. It was, he'd be hoping there's a path around the back of the black, but no, it's too thin a cut. So although he had a little bit of bad fortune with the contact from the black, a little bit of good fortune not to leave the red over the middle pocket for Ronnie O'Sullivan there.
Well, the last thing that Ronnie wanted to do there was knock the black safe. He's 31 points behind. He's put the black out of commission unintentionally. Oh, That's a nudge and a half. You can't beat a nice nudge. Just playing to land on this one near the middle pocket. Pretty good. And Ronnie had a quick look to see if this red would go up past the black. And I don't think it does. So it's just a safety off the red next to the blue. That doesn't go, just playing off the right side of it as you look at it there. Well, he's got a chance here to possibly bring the black into play. Or is he just playing a thin one off the red? Looks like a thin one. As I say, the pink and black are out of commission, so 31 points in front. Not a bad lead for Judd. A couple of shots time, Ronnie can play a safety shot off those reds near the pink and get it into play. Judd has an easy safety shot off those reds I mentioned near the pink, but he doesn't really want to be doing that. The only thing with that shot, if Ronnie plays to open the reds and pink up, he's got to be careful of the black. So he's going down the right side also. This looks good.
He never ever plays a safety shot playing ball, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Always playing with some sort of side spin. The cue ball reminds me of Alex Higgins. He used to always play safety shots like that.
See, it's just that black that Judd's concerned with. It's a straightforward safety shot off the two reds to the left there, but got to make sure he keeps it well away from the black. Gradually, these reds are starting to open up. This will open the pink and the reds. Oh, look at this for a result. He's brought the black into play unintentionally. And that's not a bad run. Ronnie's looking around thinking, well, that expression on his face, he's thinking, what was that? But he's had a terrific result there. Didn't want to be anywhere near the black. Wow, he couldn't see a safety shot, he thought, for well, not far off a minute. And in the end, he's muttering away to himself there. Was it an attempt at a pot? Two and a half minutes since Ronnie's last pot. Should be okay to find the gap past the pink. Perfectly played. Well, I say perfectly played. If the pink goes onto the black spot, it's not. If the pink spot's occupied, he can't just roll the pink in and leave that red that's near the black spot. I think that's what Ronnie was concerned about there, so he's got to get a little bit of action. Let's have a look at Judd's shot here. Yeah, he tried to pot that. He couldn't see a safety and tried to pot a very difficult red there.
Yeah, sure.
I think he'll need the extended spider if he wants to get a little bit of action on the shot here, because he's got to play for the red that's to the left of the 4.
Okay.
Doesn't like that. You see, I mean, this is where being left-handed comes in so handy. Said being left-handed, he's not left-handed, he's just so good at playing snooker with his left hand.
7.
No way he could hold for the black there, it was too thin a contact, but one good positional shot here. But just looking at it, Stephen, I don't know whether he might have to play the cannon into the 4 reds. He hasn't got an angle to leave. The red at the back of the little triangle of reds near the pink goes. Let's see which he plays for here. Judd looks a bit fed up in the background there. Oh, this has gone wrong. End of break, you would feel. Or has he dropped on that red?
10.
That was lucky. That was fortunate.
Yeah, Judd put his head to the heavens there when that cue ball dropped on that red. I think he thought it was going to be end of break.
Well, it's a straightforward black, but he's now looking at that black. Black looks much easier. He can go past the green and brown and back up to the reds. If he takes the pink, it's easier to get on the 2 reds near the pink spot. So pink it is. And it's there.
Just hasn't got a pinpoint
70.
position. I think you can hold this for the blue. Yeah, no
18.
problem.
It's amazing. He scored 18 points. It's taken him 4 minutes and 20 seconds. He made his maximum break in 5 minutes and 20 seconds here. But the balls were awkward, and as long as you keep potting them, that's
23.
what counts.
I think he would have liked to have played for the pink there and left an angle to split these 4 reds. He's already looked to see if he can get on the red that's furthest to the right of those 4, to the right corner.
I mean, now that he removes this red, if he gets a good angle on the blue, it's not in the way. At the
29.
moment, it's in the way of playing the cannon onto those 4 reds. So if he got nicely on the blue, he could then cannon into the reds from the blue. That looks a bit pacey, though. That's too hard. He's
30.
going to finish up having to... Well, he could leave a longish red or a medium pot red.
$35.
You might have to take your shot now, Stephen, because he can't get nicely on the blue, so it'll be the pink. But I don't think he's got the angle.
36.
He'd have to play something a bit spectacular. That red that you mentioned might pot if he drops the pink in. Could. It's around the houses. Have a look at this shot. Have a look at this little beauty. What about that? Well, that round of applause, it sounded like he just won a tournament, but it deserved it, that positional shot there.
$43.
And does he have an angle on the pink to follow through and cannon these 2 reds that are together? He'd love to just catch them both at the same time, but obviously he's not got the angle.
$50.
Well, he's up looking at the angle on possibly getting on the blue, because he'd have to be so precise if he got on pink or black to move these 2 reds. And needs
51.
to keep on going, and I think he's finished straight. Might have the slightest angle. He's 20 in front. Can he power this in and over to the reds? He's powered it. He's got the side.
Yeah, he just wanted to send the cue ball in between those 2 reds, cannon them both at the same time. Yeah, the second one, full ball, that's why he's so close to this red.
Oh, I don't fancy that one. I think he'd push that. He's so close to it, but he can find a path, I think, up behind the green and brown. But if he plays that shot, he's got to be careful he doesn't push this red into a potable position. A little thin one might get him up there, but if he catches it a little thicker, he'll leave the red on. Might have to sacrifice going behind the green and brown and play it thinner to get over towards the yellow. Which is what he's done, but that's just as good.
Ronnie,
Well, you'll not see many better 56 breaks than that. I'll tell you what, he's just played a shot there that he made look so easy. But he was snookered, he had to swerve that. Oh, this is fabulous stuff. He's forgot about the naughty snooker. I'll tell you what. They're both playing some very special snooker. Can't see enough of the yellow. We'd love to take the yellow.
Green ball. Judd Trump one.
So Ronnie needs a little bit of good fortune as we show you this. Well, you have to call it a Judd Trump special. There's no other name for it.
Foul and a miss. Judd Trump 7.
Well, he won't be replacing this. Comfortable red to the left centre pocket. Great chance to take the 7th frame.
One.
Shouldn't be a problem, but the brown's off its spot and nearer to the green, so as long as he screws it back far enough.
6.
He'd love the white just back exactly where it is at the moment, anywhere near where the cue ball is now.
8.
Yeah, that's fine. Ronnie O'Sullivan almost made an unbelievable frame-winning break. He got to 56, just went slightly out of position, but Judd with that fabulous long pot give himself a chance to pinch the frame. He only needs the pink. In it goes. Ronnie O'Sullivan, as I said, made a break of 56, but it wasn't quite enough. But what a good clearance from Judd Trump, and he closes the gap. It's 4-3 to Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, it is undoubtedly the hottest ticket in town, and what we're watching, Steve Davis, is utterly brilliant snooker.
Yes, for all of the excellence of Ronnie O'Sullivan, you can't shake off the young whippersnapper, which is Judd Trump. Ronnie O'Sullivan played this fantastic pink. It wasn't just the line of the shot, but actually getting around the table and having enough speed to then do some damage to those 4 reds required such great cueing, and he thought he was going to get over the line in the frame. He left himself a blue. He was a bit straight on it, but he generated a fantastic angle with right-hand side. Bit unlucky there that he didn't get a better split of the balls, and it looked like he was still in control of the match. And at that frame, for a second, he looked like he was anyway.
And at that point, you're thinking the top gun is on top here, and then the young gun comes up with this.
I don't think he's potted a more important ball than this all afternoon. I honestly don't. This is an absolutely cracking pot, but what it does is it puts him absolutely bang in the driver's seat. OK, he doesn't land up on a colour here, but he trickles behind the green. The way the frame was going, honestly, and the way the match was going, I don't think there's been a more important ball for him.
It's obvious that Judd is backing himself, because during that frame, as he was approaching that shot, you said, didn't you, here in the studio, you said, uh-oh, look out.
Here we go. Well, you could see straight away come out the chair he was going to take it on. But it's all right taking them on, knocking them in's another thing, and that's what he's doing. He's very high percentage. His level of play has gone up seriously from what he's produced so far in the tournament.
But Steve, that's what we've talked about, that's what Stephen Hendry has talked about, it's about backing yourself when you're playing against somebody like Ronnie.
Yes, but you've got to really hold your end up in all departments to be able to live with Ronnie O'Sullivan on the table. And to think that Judd Trump is on the has the possibility of getting out of this session 4-all would be, you know, he'd be so buoyed up from that. And if you look at a 4-session match, it's not how the players look at it. You look at the 4-session match. If you can win 2 sessions and draw another one, you've won the tournament, you've won the match. So to get out as a draw for this session, I think is marvellous from him. But you would expect Ronnie O'Sullivan to be giving it everything in this last frame.
And John, what are you making of the body language, of the way that Judd is approaching the table?
Well, he's got to look confident. It's very important that you walk around there thinking that, you know, I'm the best player, you've got to beat me. You've got to have that, you've got to be giving off a positive vibe. He's certainly doing that.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, JP, they're both giving off positive vibes. And that's great to see. We're looking at 2 of the top players in the game, and they're playing some all-round terrific snooker. Both very confident. Can Ronnie take that overnight lead? That's the old Cliff Thorburn shot, the dump shot. You dump the red up the table, leave the white down this side, and the grinder, Cliff Thorburn, will be arriving at the Crucible on Saturday with a few friends from Canada. They're flying him over first class, Stephen, to come over and watch the final. That's nice, isn't it? Is this plant on? Wow. If you were in behind that, you could make it, but the angle he's faced with. Now that we've got reds the right side of the table and that red the left side of the table, the safety shot becomes more difficult, whichever side of the table you try to get down. That's okay. Cue ball nowhere near the corner pocket.
Yeah, it's an excellent safety shot. He's impressed me so far in this match with his safety play, and in his, obviously, his previous match against Sean Murphy in the final frame. His tactical game is improving all the time, as you would expect. More experience and playing more big matches.
You can get back down the table off the red that's off the cushion, the right side of your screen there. He's looking at a possible long pot, but there's no easy colour available, so he's still dying to have a go at this. He doesn't like it. The shot I mentioned is the safety shot that's available to him. It's pretty straightforward, this.
Quickly, please.
Yeah, there was a phone ringing there somewhere in the Crucible. Well, that's certainly opened the reds up. But But I don't think he can, well, he certainly can't see the one that's near the left corner pocket. And everything else looks rather difficult there. Once again, he's got a safety shot off the right side of the table if he wishes. Has he found? Well, he's got a path round the back of the reds here also. Well played. Now the one that I thought Judd could attempt, Ronnie's looking at, but it's more difficult for Ronnie because he could double kiss this. This is slightly more awkward. But he's judged it well. And he's got a little flick that, well, it hasn't covered everything. Now, what is there into this left corner? Is there anything for Judd to go at? There's one pot. He'd be screwing the white towards the pink and reds. If he doesn't see an easy safety shot, you know what he'll do. He'll try and pot his way out of trouble. He looks as if he's winding up for this one. Here we go then. Wow! Have a look at that cue ball as well. Does he get some power or what on those shots, Stephen?
I've never seen anyone hit the ball as hard and as accurately as that. Looks very focused out there at the moment, Judd Trump. Determined to win this final frame of the session.
Well, a couple of years ago in this World Championship, Judd Trump amazed everybody with his potting, and that was quite an amazing pot there. But it's awkward. You know, he couldn't. Well, he could risk trying to bring the black into play if he comes off the side cushion, and if he misses the black, he'd go round onto the blue. He's tried to nudge the black into play, and that's not a bad effort. Just a little bit more pace, and he would have been perfect.
If this black is actually touching the cushion, it makes this pot a lot easier. Well, it's just off the cushion. These are tricky.
Yeah, if it's tight on the cushion and you play with a little trace aside, the black will cling to the cushion. And that's not in. A plant on for Ronnie to get started. Okay, there's distance between the two. As we show you, this black goes straight onto that left side cushion and then never go in. So that should be a straightforward plant, even though there's a distance between the two reds.
Controlled that well. That was more difficult than it looked. And Ronnie be thinking, I'm desperate to win this last frame. Have a lead.
9.
Overnight.
Yeah, just going back to the psychology, from a psychological point of view, he led 4-1 If Judd had got out of this session
16.
4-all, he would have had the better night's sleep, he would have said, but that black that he moved off the cushion, he was a bit unlucky not to develop it more, but they are difficult, those.
70.
Nice little cannon here on the red to the left of the reds and pink. He'd like to be able to do it without a cannon, but I think he might have to play it here. No, he didn't play the cannon. He's just played to leave the red in the middle pocket, so don't really blame him for that, because they can go wrong.
24.
And he knows the importance of this frame.
$25.
It's a little bit like his 56 break this in the previous frame, Stephen. He's having to work hard for them.
Yeah, he just landed a little bit straighter there than he would have liked, and this is not a nice angle on the black. He's going to have to play some sort of cannon. It's a lot further away from the black than he would have liked.
Well, he decided he hadn't quite got the angle to screw into the reds and pink. Looked as if he had. He tried one of those all the way around the table positional shots, and well, green got in his way.
I just wonder if this red to the left of the bunch will pot to the left corner. If he can avoid the cannon on the other reds, he'll take it on, but I don't know if he can avoid that.
Yeah, he's worried about it. I think if he did pot that in the left corner, he would cannon into the back red there. If he hit it thin, he could get back down the table. Well, I'll tell you what, in the end, I don't think he'd quite made his mind up.
40.
I think the red that you suggested, Stephen, he could have taken that and played it thin, and he would have had a much easier return.
Sure. 1.
Now, will Judd go? He can play the cannon on the four reds. He can actually go in between the yellow and brown with the left-hand side, baulk cushion, side cushion, and go into the four reds and pink here. Or he can play off the baulk cushion again in between the yellow and brown, just go up on the straight line for one of the reds to the left of the table. That's his choices.
If the red at the back of the bunch goes, anywhere in that circle would leave him a chance of that, or maybe the one on the left, so it all depends. That'll do. He's coming towards the cushion, but he's a left-hander, and that is played to perfection.
6. 7.
And that's a poor shot. He had a nice angle on the red to finish short on the blue. That's very careless.
Does this red pot, the one that I mentioned he might be able to get on? Well, it clearly passes the red, but has he gone far enough for the cue ball? Looks a little tight there. But if it goes, it opens up another red for the opposite corner, but it's very tight, so he's going to take the slightly more difficult red.
Nice pot with the rest, but the angle on the black, I think he's going to have to play for the red. That's on the black cushion.
Has he finished straight on this?
18.
Needs a slight angle. He's only got a slight angle. But that's all he needed.
19.
Now this is the key shot. If he doesn't get into this well enough, the white will hit those reds and slide over towards the right middle pocket. All depends how well he gets into this.
Yeah, the exacting positional shot is kiss the red to the left of the pink. But you would think any cannon, he'll be unlucky not to be on one, and that looks very good indeed.
20. 27.
As I mentioned earlier, if he was to take this frame and level it 4-all after being 4-1 behind, it'll be a good day's work.
Yeah, at 4-1 Dennis, I was starting to think there was warning signs already. We all know how good Ron is
34.
when he gets a lead, but this has been a great performance by Judd Trump. Put some incredible long balls and showed great character to get back into this match.
35.
Yeah, we're in the semi-final and Ronnie O'Sullivan has never been behind yet in any of his matches. And he's not going to be behind in this session, so it'll make the first frame
42.
of tomorrow morning's session very interesting if Judd clinches this.
43.
94% against 87%. Well ahead in the pot success department, and he's ahead in the long pot success department.
And you would say this is the most, or the last chance really for O'Sullivan. If Judd gets nicely positioned on the colour, you would expect him to take the frame here.
Well, you said it, Steve, if he gets
51.
nicely on the colour, but he's not nicely on the colour. So Ronnie hasn't lost this frame just yet. He needs to play. A very good shot here. If he just tries to drop this in, he'd be on the yellow. It's there, and he's on the yellow.
58. 60.
Well, what a great start this has been to this semi-final. We knew it was going to be a cracking match. We've had everything, only a century break. We've had some superb tactical play from both players. And someone's decided it's time to go. He thinks the frame's over. Just put Judd off there.
67.
Just around the
72.
houses. I wonder how hard he'll hit this. You have to watch out on the front row here if he hits this hard. No, it's still on the table. Well, that's a pretty good comeback from Judd Trump. He was 4-1 down. He's won the last 3 frames. What a semi-final we've got here. We're all square, 4 frames each.